Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Collective podcast, where we tell it like it is, and it is like we tell it. I'm your host, as always, Dickie, and the show must go on, right? The show must go on. What am I talking about? Listen, just came off an epic vacation. Missed last week's episodes. We had a bit of a break in production, and that's because I was out moving and shaking and doing my thing. I was getting away with the family, did an incredible vacation, had an incredible time, and lo and behold, business is going so crazy that I was short of time to even get a podcast episode done out for this week. But you want to know something? The show must go on. And here we are dropping these episodes to you on Tuesdays. And normally we've got them banked up. And recently we're having good problems, folks. Business is so crazy that, man, time is becoming a very valuable commodity that I am running out of. However, with that being said, the show's got to go on. And so I'm sitting down in front of you today for a bit of an abbreviated episode because there is still value to be given here. And you want to know something? The whole purpose of having this community, the Entrepreneurial Collective, this inner circle that is creating these amazing problems, ones that make it very difficult to fit all of your responsibilities in to the amount of time that you have because business is so good. We're still going to get the job done, and we're going to still find time to deliver value to all of you. The show must go on. I'm wearing red today. How fitting. Today is one day removed from the Super Bowl, and whether you're a football fan or not, you've heard of the NFL, you've heard of Taylor Swift, need I go on? This is a big event that happens for a lot of sporting fans, and yesterday I thought there was an amazing opportunity to speak to something that took place in the game. And what I want to talk about is, the show must go on, but that's not what we're going to title this one. We're going to title this one, There's No Value in Playing Safe. Hey, is that the title? I don't know. I'll think about it. You're going to find out ultimately when I decide to put a title on this thing. But if you're a football fan or not, what I want you to do, especially if you're not, because I want this to make sense to you, is I want you to go look up the Super Bowl, okay? You don't need to watch the whole football game if you're not a fan, but I really want you to focus on the overtime period. Now, for those of you that aren't football fans and perhaps don't have a clue what's going on in overtime of a football game, especially the Super Bowl, let me bring you up to speed really quick. It's quite simple. The game's tied. You flip a coin, right? And then you get to decide, do I want to kick the ball or receive the ball? Now, the rules in the Super Bowl is you cannot just go down the field, score a touchdown, win the game, and it's over. No, the other team has to be given a possession, right? And so yesterday, there was a situation where the San Francisco 49ers, and yeah, they wear red, and well, so do the Kansas City Chiefs, depending on home or away, but there's red in their uniforms. I thought the red was fitting. There was a coin toss. San Francisco won it. They flipped the coin. They decided to take the ball first, and they were going to go marching down the field. Now, again, what I want to point out here, and hopefully you're a football fan, hopefully you understand this, but if not, it's not difficult to understand. The 49ers made it all the way down to the field, right? They're on like the 5-yard line. I forget exactly what it was, but they were right down there. And they're playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? This is an incredible football team with arguably the best quarterback ever to play the game. Shout out Tom Brady, you're great. But I mean, the body of work we're seeing from Patrick Mahomes, absolutely insane. But the point is this guy's an absolute threat. He's a problem. He's a scoring machine. And the only reason the game was in overtime was because with less than 2 minutes to go, this Patrick Mahomes guy marches the ball all the way down the field to tie the game up, push it into overtime. He is a problem. Anytime his team gets the ball, it's a problem. So this is what I want to point out. Is what ended up happening in this game. And I encourage you to go watch it. Okay. It's like 5 minutes of tape. You're going to see where San Francisco got the ball in overtime, made it right down almost to the point of scoring a touchdown. And they decided to kick a field goal. Okay. That put them up by 3 points. Now, here's the point is when the Kansas City Chiefs get the ball back and they go marching down, they could kick a field goal, tie the game, and the game keeps going on, or they could score a touchdown and the game is over, okay? And this is a message about going all in. So The San Francisco 49ers, they get the ball first. They march it all the way down. They're on like the 5-yard line, really close to scoring a touchdown against the Kansas City Chiefs. And it was their third down. They blew the play. It was like fourth down, 3 yards to go, something like that. And they decided to kick. And this is where I want to point out to a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of sales representatives, a lot of human beings playing it too safe in life. You see, I'm of the opinion perhaps they should have gone for the touchdown. Yep, perhaps they should have gone for the touchdown. Now, why? Well, there's a couple reasons. You see, if they go for the touchdown and they get it, then the worst thing that can happen to them is the Kansas City Chiefs get the ball, they go down the field, they score a touchdown, and they tie the game, and the game continues. Second option, you go for the touchdown, you don't get the touchdown, and now it's still a tie game, but the Chiefs are going to be starting with the ball on their 5 or 7 yard line. You know, they're really deep in their zone, and they're going to have a much more difficult time going down the field to score against you. Now, when the 49ers kicked the field goal, they kicked off the ball back to the Kansas City Chiefs on the next play, kicked it into the end zone. It's what's called a touchback, and Kansas City got the ball on their own 25-yard line. So they started their game-winning drive on their own 25-yard line. If San Francisco had gone for the touchdown, they would have started, If they went for the touchdown and missed on their fourth down, they would have had Kansas City starting on their own 5 or 7 yard line. So my point is, it would have been more difficult. In this particular football game, there was logic and reasoning to go for it, right? There was a lot of it. A lot of logic and reasoning to go for it. You know, scoring that touchdown would have put even more pressure on Kansas City for what they had to do to march down the field to just tie the game, never mind win it. And it also would have made it more difficult, even if you missed, for them to come down and cause a problem for you. Now, this is arguable, okay? And depending if you're a football fan or not, you know, you might have a different point of view, and that's fine. I'm giving you my point of view. And the point of view here is I saw value in the San Francisco 49ers going for it. And if they had went for it, and if it didn't work out, and if they still lost the game, I think there's a lot of people who could have accepted it a little bit more, a little bit easier, but also would have understood, right? There's somebody who went for it. And this is what the world is, especially even with human beings, salespeople, entrepreneurs. There's a bunch of people who are talking about wanting to do something big, wanting to get something done, wanting to create this epic business, wanting to create this epic brand, wanting to do things at a higher level and be that person. And yet, as I've said in past episodes, everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. You know, there's a lot of people who talk about doing this, but they're not willing to go for things when the moment is right there. You know, if you're watching that football game yesterday, I don't know. That is something that I thought about a lot today. I mean, in the moment, I'm watching the game. I'm a fan, right? But today, as I pondered about it, you know, I thought to myself, I'm like, why didn't they go for it? You practice all year. You play all these games, 18 games, 22 or 21, whatever, in the playoffs. You play all these games. Why? For opportunities to win. You've got one life to live, folks. You've been thinking about that business. You've been thinking about taking that action to develop that brand as that sales representative you are in your particular market, in your particular industry. And yet you're thinking about it. You've been thinking about producing content. You've been thinking about writing those blogs. You've been thinking about making those videos, but you're thinking about it. For those of you that make the make the video, are you going for it? Right? Or are you playing it safe? Are you trying to do what everybody else thinks you should do? Are you doing the safe play so that you don't have a bunch of people say, hey, we don't like that? Or are you going for it? Are you saying, this is who I am, this is what I stand on, love it or leave it? Because I'm of the opinion, in fact, I'm here to share the certainty that your market is looking for commitment. Your market is looking for the one who's committed to going for it. Right? Me and my business, when I approach a dealer, I don't show up and say to them, or I approach a business, an entrepreneur, I don't approach them and say, listen, I've got a ton of great ideas and, you know, let me share them with you. And if you're comfortable with a couple, maybe we can try. No, I don't say that. I say, love me or leave me. This is the way I see something should be done. This is why I believe it should be done that way. And this is exactly how I believe it should be done so we can execute and experience the result, the fruit of this decision. Now let's go. Let's get after it. I'm willing to go for failure. The conviction at which I present these opportunities to my market is exactly what convicts them to buy into what it is I'm selling. And I'm going to make the argument there's a lot of businesses out there, a lot of entrepreneurs that do not have this conviction, that haven't been willing to go for failure, that haven't been willing to take that shot because they're too concerned about what if it doesn't work out. The San Francisco 49ers didn't go for it yesterday on that fourth down because they didn't want to deal with the backlash of what people would have thought if they weren't successful. And I would make the argument, a lot of successful people, they don't even entertain that. They just focus on what the winning play is and going for the winning play, understand that we're out here to win. And I think a lot of sales representatives and entrepreneurs are forgetting this. They're missing out on this. So here, while I'm looking to put this episode together, a quick one, to still deliver value to all of you, I was thinking to myself, and I'm like, man, go get the red sweater. Put the red sweater on and let them know what time it is. Again, if you're not a football fan, go and YouTube the Super Bowl overtime. I mean, it's a 5-7 minute piece of film, and it's really going to help this message resonate with you. If you are a football fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Have you been playing it safe? Have you been kicking the field goal? Today, everybody's talking about the Swifties. No, just kidding, but maybe they are. No, they're talking about Travis Kelce, and even more importantly, they're talking about Patrick Mahomes, 3-time Super Bowl MVP, certified Hall of Famer. They're talking about all these accolades he's guaranteed to receive in his future, yet the guy's 29 years old. He arguably has 10 more years of football in front of him. He arguably can accomplish everything that Tom Brady has accomplished, and he's the GOAT, apparently. And I'd agree at this point in time. I think there's a message and an opportunity there, folks. You've got one life to live. I don't know which one of you has been told that you're going to live to be 1,000 so you can keep taking another day, another week, another month, another year, waiting for this moment where you're going to build up the courage and finally go for it. I don't know who's told you that. And I don't know who's told the San Francisco 49ers that they're going to be back at the Super Bowl next year, the year after, the year after, and the year after that. So you could go for it on one of those. I know that team played their hearts out. You could see it on their faces. It's heartbreaking, when it doesn't pan out. But you also know, and they know as pros, that all you've got is what you can give, and they believe they gave it all. I'm just looking at that decision, and maybe it falls on the coach, and who knows? No human being's perfect. I'm just sharing my opinion, armchair quarterback over here. However, I don't know how much time I've got. I don't know what time is guaranteed. And I am comfortable losing, going for failure, egg on my face, tomatoes being thrown at me on the stage in the name of saying I went for it. Every successful human being has got a story where they had to summon up the courage to go for it. A lot of you, I was working with an organization today and we were producing content, right? I put content out constantly, videos, blogs, but this particular day we were doing videos. And I didn't have a game plan going into it, but I do have a commitment that every single time I show up at this particular business, we're putting out a piece of content. It's just a way of life. And so in the moment, I sat, thought of the idea, came up with something, boom, go for failure. Folks, sometimes these pieces of content go viral, make me tons of money. Other times, they're quiet. Maybe it didn't hit. It doesn't stop the actions I'm willing to take. And I'm going to make the argument that because I'm willing to go for failure constantly, I expose myself to the opportunity to experience success more often. Michael Jordan, heard of him before, right? He's a guy who everybody's like, he's made, whatever. I don't know what the number is. 100 game-winning shots. He's the first guy to tell you I've also missed 500. Yeah, I've had the game-winning shot 600 times. Everybody talks about the 100 that I made, understandably so. They were great games, great shots, great moments. But nobody ever talks about the amount of times I had to go for failure to experience that result. So for this episode, for this short and sweet one, I want you guys to think about this. I'm wearing the red today. Super Bowl's over. Everybody in the NFL has one more year to think about what they could have done different to make it to that game. And the San Francisco 49ers, oh man, they're going to be thinking a lot about what maybe they could have done different. For example, going for it on that fourth down. But look at the Chiefs, man. The Chiefs hung in the pocket. They kept going. They were willing to, lay it all out there. They could have kicked a field goal towards the end of the game, right, to continue the game or maintain a tie. But you could tell the second they got the ball, Patrick Mahomes had that in his eyes. He's the type of dude who is going down the field to win. He's going for broke, and he's willing to die on that. You know what I mean? I've said it in the past. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A soldier dies but once. So I want all of you who are enjoying this content, watching these episodes, budding entrepreneurs who are ready to take that leap, or perhaps entrepreneurs who are actually operating their businesses successfully, but no, there's another level. There's a next level of opportunity out there for them. And it's going to come behind making those videos, behind creating that content. I want you to start going for it. I don't want you to make the content that you think everybody's going to love. I've shared it with you. Go back to the Genesis episode, the very first one of the Entrepreneurial Collective podcast, and you'll see how I talk about these stories, how I talk about a video, get out of the car business, that I didn't know how the market was going to receive it. But in that moment, I decided to keep it real to who I was and the message I was here to deliver to people on planet Earth. Love me or leave me, love it or leave it. That's when everything went boom. I'm enjoying boom. Half of the reason I need to make an abbreviated episode right now is not only the fact that I got caught away on vacation with the family recently and I've just been tight on time. I'm so busy. I'm running in and out of different businesses, working with different people, and me and my pocketbook, me and the bank account, we're loving it, right? But I got to jump on a plane in a day's time because I'm traveling to another epic area of planet Earth to go and do more work with amazing people. And I want all of you to experience these things too. They all come behind a decision to take action, a willingness to go for failure, understanding that that's a part of the journey, okay? Success is not a destination, it's a journey, and along it, you're going to have amazing moments, and you're going to have some not so amazing moments. Remember, success is not a destination, and you are only successful when you perform a successful act. You actually have to do it again and again and again and again. Well, I want you to take a look at this football game. I want you to listen to this message I'm delivering to you hot and fast here, and I want you to ask yourself, have you been doing that? Odds are the answer is no. I know many of you aren't. To those of you that are, keep doing more of it. I love it. But I'm here to motivate, inspire, and encourage those who are on the fence. Yesterday, that football game, that was an example where I thought, man, those 49ers had marched down the field so good on that opening drive in the football game. And by going for it, there was enough reason. They could have protected themselves by scoring a touchdown. In the worst case scenario, Kansas City would have gotten that touchdown. Game would have still been going on. And if they didn't score the touchdown, they would have made it that much more difficult for Kansas City to do what they inevitably did. And who knows if they inevitably would have done it. Hey, that's what an armchair quarterback is, right? We come up with all of these solutions that work out perfectly in our own minds. Not to take anything away from Kyle Shanahan, the coach of the 49ers, and his decision. If his decision pans out and they win, I don't have anything to talk about right now. So it is convenient. But I just saw an opportunity there, as I see far too often with other human beings, where you could be going for failure. Because on the other side of going for something risky, something that you're a little unsure of, something that's really making you think, should I? Usually on the other side of that is the epic outcome that you have been born and designed to capture. And through that, you could expose yourself to an absolutely huge market that you didn't even know was there waiting for you. Because again, when you become valuable to the world will pay you to be yourself and make room for what it is you have to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the red. The red pops on the set, doesn't it? Shout out Kansas City Chiefs. Great win. Shout out to the Swifties. Did I just say that? I guess I did. And hey, shout out to the 49ers for an epic season. You made it to the Super Bowl, and I salute you because a lot of people are talking about how you didn't win today. I want to point out there's another 30 teams in the league that didn't sniff the opportunity to be a part of the dance that you were a part of yesterday. Isn't it funny? Think about it when you're in the club, right? You see the one guy dancing funny and everybody's like, yeah, look at him. Listen, bro, you're holding up the wall and the club's not going to collapse. It does not need you to hold up the wall. Why don't you get out into the floor and start dancing? Because I think the guy out there dancing is experiencing more opportunity than you are. And the San Francisco 49ers, they had a shot. It just didn't work out. But you know what? I have a feeling they'll be back. And I wish them all the best. To all of you, salespeople, business owners, entrepreneurs, go for it, man. That is the message here, delivered hot and fast on this epic day. And again, I want all of you to start experiencing what we're experiencing inside of the Entrepreneurial Collective. Even more importantly, inside of the Entrepreneurial Collective's inner circle. We've got answers for all of you on how to get there. Because to be honest, gosh, I feel undeserving. Life is too awesome, traveling all over the place, doing what it is I love, serving the world through my business. And I would do it for free if the money wasn't so good. Yeah, I said it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our episode this week. I hope you saw value in it. Again, if you're not a football fan, check out the film. It's on YouTube. It will make so much sense. And to all of you that are, wow, what a season. Now it's time to get back to the grind, and we'll look forward to a Super Bowl next year. Let's see where we can be 364 more days from now so that we can look back on this video, this episode, and next year's Super Bowl and say, wow, look how far we've come. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, I'm Alan Dickie. As always, it's a pleasure, and I will look forward to seeing all of you on next week's episode of the Entrepreneurial Collective Podcast. Make it a great day, everybody.